Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is just infinitely frustrating. We're talking about the stubborn fat solution. If you feel like you are doing absolutely everything right, eating well, working out, but your midsection just completely refuses to cooperate, I need you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's break down exactly why belly fat acts like the ultimate unbeatable final boss in a video game, and more importantly, how we can finally beat it.
Because it's a massive paradox, isn't it? You're putting in the work, you're tracking your meals, you're hitting the gym, you're doing endless amounts of cardio. You're literally sweating buckets and giving it your absolute all. And sure, you look in the mirror and you notice your face is getting sharper. You might even start seeing some real definition in your arms or your shoulders. But then, you look at your midsection and it completely ignores your efforts. Your stomach stays exactly the same. It's almost like it's mocking you. You start spinning out, wondering, is my body broken? Am I doing the wrong exercises? It's a completely baffling scenario that leaves so many of us feeling totally defeated.
And then, oh man, there's this wildly relatable scenario. You eat incredibly clean for let's say 3 or 4 days straight, you are dialed in. But then it gets late, you've had a ridiculously long day at work, and you cave. You have one late night slice of pizza. Literally, just one. And the very next morning, you wake up, look in the mirror, and suddenly your stomach looks like it's preparing for winter survival mode. You're bloated, you're puffy, and you feel entirely thrown off track. It creates this frantic panic where you think all your hard work over the past week was entirely wiped out by a single piece of cheese and dough. It feels completely unfair, right? Well, the crazy part is, it's actually not all in your head.
There is a deeply unfair biological reason for all of this. Your body actually loses fat in a very specific order. And unfortunately for most of us, especially men, belly fat really is that final boss. Why? Well, there are two big biological reasons. First, the fat cells around your stomach are just inherently stubborn. They're highly resistant to releasing their stored energy compared to fat cells in, say, your arms or legs. It's the exact reason you might see a vein popping in your bicep while your abs are still completely in hiding. Second, the blood flow surrounding your belly area is noticeably lower. Because the blood flow is lower, the fat-burning signals your body sends out travel much slower to the stomach. Your body actually is burning fat everywhere, but around your midsection, the process is moving at an absolute crawl.
And knowing that biology is exactly why we need to completely destroy a toxic fitness influencer myth right out of the gate. You have probably seen hundreds of videos promising that doing this specific crunch or that special secret sit-up will magically melt belly fat. That is absolutely false. No way around it. The reality, targeted fat loss just does not exist. You cannot choose where fat comes off first. Your body doesn't work like a sculptor meticulously carving away at a specific block of clay. It loses fat everywhere at once, simultaneously. It is purely your genetics and your hormones deciding which areas shrink first and which areas hold on for dear life. You could do 1,000 sit-ups a day and it still won't tell your body to prioritize stomach fat.
Now hold on, before you completely throw out your entire ab training routine, remember this simple rule. Muscle gives shape. Fat loss reveals it. Training your core still absolutely matters. We just need to reframe why we're doing it. You aren't doing crunches to burn the fat sitting on top of your stomach. You are doing them to build thicker, stronger abdominal muscles underneath. Because if you build those muscles up, they will actually start pushing through and becoming visible much sooner, even if you're at a slightly higher body fat percentage. It's the exact reason some people look super athletic at 15 to 18% body fat, while others just look kind of soft. That is the real game we're playing here.
Okay, so take a deep breath, let's slow down the frantic pace and clear away all the noise. Now that we understand the stubborn biology and we've ditched the myths, let's look at the actual beautiful sigh of relief solution. No magic pills, no top secret exercises. There are exactly two simple steps you need to follow. Step 1 is a calorie deficit, and step 2 is movement consistency. Let's break down exactly how these two things guarantee results.
So, what exactly do we mean by a calorie deficit? Well, it all starts with finding your maintenance calories. This is the exact specific amount of food your body requires just to maintain its current weight and keep the lights on. If you consistently eat above this number, you're going to gain weight. If you consistently eat below it, you're going to lose weight. It really is that brutally straightforward. And honestly, understanding this should give you so much of your control back. You don't ever have to fear food, you just have to manage your relationship with this one specific threshold. Eating consistently below your maintenance number absolutely guarantees fat loss over time.
But let's be totally real for a second here. Simple on paper doesn't always translate to easy in real life. I mean, you can probably feel the mental exhaustion just thinking about the process. Weighing every single morsel of food, squinting to read the back of every nutrition label, logging every tiny little snack into an app, and trying to calculate your protein, carbs, and fats like you're trying to solve advanced calculus. It is completely exhausting. And this right here is exactly why most people burn out mentally long before they ever burn fat physically. Diet fatigue is a very real thing. If your system is too complicated, you are going to drop it the second your life gets stressful. Having a simple, sustainable system matters so much more than having a mathematically perfect one.
Which brings us to movement. And I'm going to tell you another truth that nobody likes hearing. You do not need extreme cardio to lose belly fat. In fact, for most people, hardcore cardio is the exact reason they end up quitting altogether. Think about it. Running for an hour, doing insane high-intensity interval training, leaving the gym feeling like you've been hit by a truck? Sure, it burns calories, but it completely crushes your motivation. And when motivation dies, consistency vanishes with it. Contrast that with walking. Walking is sustainable. It's incredibly easy to recover from, it's gentle on your joints, and it is so ridiculously simple to repeat every single day. Honestly, walking is arguably the most underrated fat loss tool in human existence.
And here is the magic target: 7,000 to 10,000 steps per day. Your body is highly logical. It honestly does not care if those calories were burned by you sprinting until you feel nauseous or by simply taking a really pleasant walk around your neighborhood. Burned calories are burned calories. The magic isn't actually in the physical act of walking itself. The magic is in the fact that walking is a daily habit you won't dread doing. Daily habits are what literally restructure your physique over time. Hitting this step number consistently is what bridges the gap between where you are right now and finally getting that final boss of belly fat to surrender.
Now I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't have time to walk on a treadmill for an hour and a half, but the absolute best part is you don't even need to officially work out or step foot inside a gym to hit this goal. You can seamlessly weave these steps into the day you're already living. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park your car at the very back of the grocery store lot. Throw on some music or a great audiobook and just pace the room. Go outside for a quick 10-minute walk right after you eat, which, by the way, is fantastic for your digestion. If you have to take a work call, pace around your house or the office hallway. These tiny, almost invisible movements repeated daily will compound to create massive physical changes.
And there is actually a massive hidden bonus to this walking strategy. It directly combats 3 hidden fat loss killers: poor sleep, high stress, and increased cravings. See, when you rely on extreme, agonizing workouts, you often spike your stress hormones. And when your stress goes up and your sleep quality goes down, your body fights back. It ramps up your hunger and your sugar cravings, which makes sticking to that calorie deficit we talked about nearly impossible. But regular daily walking, it does the exact opposite. It manages your stress. It actively calms down your nervous system, and it promotes much deeper sleep. When you control those variables, keeping your appetite in check becomes practically effortless. The whole system just starts working in perfect harmony.
So that brings us to a crucial question I want to leave you with today. Are you going to spend another entire year frantically fighting against your own biology? Or will you finally step back, slow down, and just let consistency win the war? Remember, the big secret was never some magical fat-burning pill. It wasn't a detox tea. It definitely wasn't some crazy neck-breaking 30-day crunch challenge. It is simply combining a slight calorie deficit with consistent daily movement for long enough that your body literally has no choice but to change. Week after week, the fat will slowly come off everywhere, and eventually, that stubborn belly fat is going to lose the fight too. Real transformation is just the basics. Repeated. I really hope this explainer gave you the clarity you need to get started today. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.